is a menace!
Only shooting stars break the
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Lazlo, enthusiastic accuser, who is actually Jonah Jameson, who is going to be pointing fingers left and right saying, you're a suspect. I'm going to write an article about it and sell it for big money because whenever you attack with a creature with menace, you get a treasure and you can suspect a creature when he enters in order to either remove your opponent's blocker or make it so you have more menacing creatures of your own. Jonah Jameson is a very fun mono-red aggro deck that gives you an excuse to run a lot of creatures that are just kind of there and have menace. You're going to notice in this deck there's a lot of cards that you wouldn't normally see, and some you would normally see. We're also running a bunch of treasure synergy and generally good mono-red aggro cards as a way to, get more out of this commander. Because he's giving you so much mana, you're able to really spill out every card you have, then double their damage, increase it by more, and of course, get some other nice mono-red buffs. This is a very fun deck, and because we're in mono-red, we can also moon our opponent. We have Magus of the Moon, Blood Moon, and Winter Moon, so if you match against those 4 and 5 color decks, you can cut them off cleanly with just a single spell. And, well, we'll have lots of mana, but will we have card advantage? Yes, we will, because in this deck, we can sacrifice the treasures in order to get cards in exile to cast. We can use the Byway Barterer as well in order to get more cards so we can just keep casting and use up those treasures as fast as we can make them. Because you gotta spend mana to make mana. So let's take Jonah Jameson or Lazlo into the queue and start accusing everyone of being a menace. Nissa, Resurgent Animus. Took a while to decide if they wanted to keep that hand. I'll keep this one. I got my Bastronauts, Fireweaver, Bombardiers. We got a lot of cool stuff here. I get to throw creatures. I get to throw artifacts. Nice. Maybe even draw new hands. But number one for me is this Bastronaut. I love this card. Not only is it a menace for this deck, it's also just an incredibly good aggro piece. It's a goblin, it's a warrior. It fits into so many places. Priest of Titania. Ugh. That's a pain. I will play a Reckless Fireweaver and swing in for 1. Speed up. Nissa is a landfall deck. They're going to be getting elves and elementals on landfall and just using tons and tons of mana to cast bigger and bigger spells. You can chain together a lot of landfall effects too, like Provisioner, Lotus Cobra, Nissa, and keep replaying that. So now they have 2 mana since that's an elf. That's an elf. Yeah, you love when this shows up the turn too late. But I went first, right? No, they went first. Yeah, this showed up right after. Ugh. Breaking out Lazlo. And accusing this Reckless Fireweaver v Spider-Man. I'll swing in with both. I'm happy to trade with the Priest of Titania if I can. Also get some damage in. Speed up. Speed up again. Nice. And they're not blocking any of it. Wow, alright. I'll play Kellen since he doesn't have haste. He also doesn't have menace. Ugh, what a loser. Got a lot of mana. Let's see what elf or elemental they find. It's Tireless Provision, another landfall elf. Ooh, tapping for 3, 4, going to... Sure, that's also just 5 mana, but now all of it's green. Grow from the Ashes, kicked. That will get them 2 lands untapped, which is also 2 more mana and 2 more mana here, so they have 6 mana left. That's a loot. Still lots of mana left. Also made of food. Ugh, they can replay their lands from the graveyard. Okay, Winter Moon would stop the Nykthos and Cavern from getting as much mana, but they're already at the point where they're going, I'll say, kind of nuts with it. That said, I am going to play Winter Moon here, but not for the reason you might think. Oh, maybe there's a reason you do think. It's so I can throw it. Come on out, Winter Moon! Yeah! It's a really fun boast ability. Now I can attack with everything and just kill Nissa. That's the one that they can recover the most easily from, but also it's the most fun for me, so it's what I'm gonna do. Because I could also, like, sacrifice a treasure just to kill this. Sacrificing Winter Moon would also be able to kill, loot. I'm, like, trying to remember the name of things directly in front of me. Out of here, Nissa. Blocking Kellen. He does get eaten up. You can trade with Lazlo? Okay, I'm totally down with this. Do I feel like increasing this damage by 2? Not right now. R.I.P. Kellen, you lived as you died. Yeah. Harder. That's a good raccoon. My raccoon. Hi, Nissa. Welcome back. You have lots and lots of mana. Ugh, and lots and lots of lands, too. Hello, Pock. And the card they get off Nissa's second trigger is Eladamri, which allows them to cast creatures off the top of their deck. They can also change what's on top of their deck using these Evolving Wild. And once he has his ability, tap creatures to cheat things in. They can also cheat things in with loot. The freaking Evolving Wild's coming out again. Oh yeah, because they can play additional lands. I was like, how did they play another one? Because of loot. Wonder if they'll activate loot this turn. They have enough mana. 1, 2, 3, 4 fetching, 5, 6. Oh, they're just eating food. That's real. I like eating food too. Aw. I wanted to give him haste. And accuse himself of being Spider-Man. I'll play this Mutavault. Cast Lazlo. I will discard my hand and draw 2. And I'm going to do something a little unusual for this deck. I'm actually going to suspect one of their creatures. Mythweaver Puck, huh? That doesn't seem like a trustworthy guy. That cat, he's doing magic. So now he will have Menace, and he won't be able to block, giving them a odd number of blockers, which is really good for me with all these Menace creatures. I'm going to attack in with all of these. Treasure, 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 treasure. Immediately, with no hesitation, Ember Cleave. here. Don't mind me. Definitely don't have a 6-mana artifact that I can throw. Except I totally do. Bombardiers! Blast him! You know, I've killed people with Embercleave before, but not like this. Face is always the place. GG, Nissa. It's Vivi, the spell-slinging wizard that gets huge, makes tons of mana, and deals damage directly just by casting spells. I've got a 1-drop with Menace and a 2-drop with Menace, and hopefully I get a 3rd land so I can have a 3-drop with, well, he'll give himself Menace, and then we can Embercleave. I just want to live my best life here. Y'all already know what Vivi does, though, because, well, we've been seeing a lot of Vivis across the last few months. He's a very popular commander because he's quite good. Not unstoppable, but still difficult. Didn't get a land there. Got something that turns everything into mountains, though, so I could turn their Mystic Peak into a different land that taps for just red. There's a basic island and a sleight of hand. I need treasures. I need treasures. What if they have a burn spell? If they do, they'll use it on this guy. Well, they would if I could afford to cast him. Go! Ragavan! This one doesn't steal and make treasures, but he's still pretty good. I wanted to believe in the cleave this turn. I would have been able to if I had another land. Wait, what is this? Crimson Wisps? Oh, it's just another cantripping spell. So they're probably heavy into the Storm build of Vivi if they're playing things like Crimson Wisps. A Thud, a Consider, and a land! Speaking of land, there's one! Does this get countered? Tail's End? Wash away? Anything in a sort? No, we get to go to combat. Since these two already have Menace, I'm a menace. Get me pictures of me. I look gorgeous. Nice. Good work. We got a barter. We got, I could make them have more red mana. That's not that hopeful. Twin Flame Tyrant. That's probably going to be the move. Twin Flame into Embercleave might be lethal, actually. It really depends on what they do. If they just, like, play Vivi and, like, make him a little bigger this turn, he won't be able to block all the things with Menace. I'm a menace? I'm Spider-Man? You know, you point fingers. Eventually you'll be right. There is one Spider-Man in the deck. What if we pointed at him? I'm still going to try this. Twin Flame Tyrant. You got loads of mana up. Him and Grimlock. Him play wizard stuff. We get to go to attacks. I'm a menace, you're a menace, you're a menace! All of us are menaces, even the monkey. Well, actually, the monkey doesn't have menace. Is this gonna be like an 8th rise? I don't care. Embercleave! Oh, and with double the damage, we win the game! It's Kaiju Dance Party playing Etali, going to be ramping and then playing spells off the top of both players' decks. This is somebody who I match into, or I used to match into a lot, fairly often. Like, they're like a cool player. Every time I've run into this person, they seem to have, like, pretty cool brews, though there's only so much you can do to make Etali cool. I'm still happy to see a friendly face in the queue. I think that Elvish Mystic should get spiked. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just swinging for one. Yeah, gotta stop their ramp where I can. You like their fancy Elvish Mystic art? because it's good. And I like when my commander has Menace. I'm Spider-Man. I've always been Spider-Man. Cabaret Revels, when they cast creatures, they'll get more creatures. Ooh. Robber of the Rich. We swing in. We'll get 2 treasures. Steal a card from the top of their deck. It's Kraza. Now I could sacrifice some of these treasures for more damage. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll put it on my commander. Menace with a sword. Pictures of Spider-Man. Oh, I did it, you guys. I got pictures of Spider-Man. Are you guys having Eldraine flashbacks? Well, I'm just out here living my happiest life. Mm-hmm. I have spiders and mans. No, that's Spider-Punk. You know, that punk. That's Spider-Punk. Dinosaur. All right, so I could do a couple different things here. Unfortunately, most of them work better outside of combat. So I can go for like Twin Flame or Fury or both. So I'm going to Twin Flame Tyrant. That's going to increase the damage dealt by my creatures and my everything else. I'm going to get rid of Tentative Connection. That is an act of treason. And we are going to divide some of this damage around. I'm going to get rid of Nissa and Lotus Cobra. Then I'll swing in, and hopefully the haste into double damage and the everything else finishes them off. Davriel, Soul Broker. Davriel is an awfully tricky card since it's going to be generating slightly randomized abilities. And they'll be probably packed full of removal, board wipes, and ways to cut me off from my hands while they continue to discount things. Some of the cards, or some of the abilities they really want to get on that minus are making it so your spells cost black mana less, or making it so whenever you draw a card, you gain life, enabling certain infinite combos, or just going wild and drawing your combos off something like Grizzlebrand. I've got aggro, though, which makes me very happy, so I will swing in with Ragavan. The Ley Line of the Void. So you remember how I said, like, cutting off strategies? Yeah, there's the cutting off strategy. I was born to Zorn. So I'm going to play it. And if you're wondering, why am I playing Zorn over one of the stronger creatures in my hand? That is exactly the reason why, because it is not the strongest creature in my hand. It is a creature that is middling. It is very helpful with Lazlo. It will help me get more mana, but it's harder for them to kill, and it, well, discourages them from doing something that would end the game for me this early. Zorn, you getting Menace. Zorn, you making treasures. I love getting 2 treasures. Here comes Davriel. They can also choose to just kill one of my creatures, but that's usually not the best choice. Oh, well, they disagree. Zorn, gone. No, my treasure doubling. Woe is me. I'll play the Big Spender and Gut. And I have nothing left with Menace. So we're gonna have to make something with Menace. I'm gonna throw the Big Spender at you. I'm gonna sacrifice a treasure to make a 4/1 with Menace. It's attacking their face. Davriel is gone, but they do have 4 mana. And there could be a board wipe in my future. Just as there could be an Embercleave in theirs. Nope, just a board wipe. Darn, this is what happens when you commit to the board. Never commit to the board. So they've board wiped twice. They left Davriel in the graveyard. There are ways to reanimate planeswalkers. Or it's possible they like want to exile it as fodder for like an escape spell. Or delve spell. No, they're going to start their engines. They draw a card and lose a life. They're down to 13. Now, my commander is a menace. Yes, he is. So he will make a treasure, which will trigger by Drix Interlacer. And I'm just trying to maximize my damage here. So Embercleave onto Lazlo. I could sacrifice this to just draw one card, but I'm greedy, so I'm going to wait. If they go to make me discard again, like another Thoughtseize type card, or not again, but like if they go to make me discard, I'm going to lightning bolt them. Soul Shatter, RIP Lazlo. Jonah Jameson returns. You think it's going to be blood on the snow? They do have snow-covered swamps. Creatures entering don't cause abilities to trigger. Interesting. I will not be able to suspect anyone or anything. They're going to lose 2 life, though, and draw 2 cards. I will crack this open. I'm just looking for anything that could attack this turn. Not finding anything that could attack this turn. I'm not a menace. He's not. He's just a happy fella. And I'm just sitting here. Waiting with some hating. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Wait. You die. I lose a life. Offers and conditions. What do you get? I'm trying to go for lightning bolt for the kill. They draw 3 and then would lose life for each creature they control, but they don't have any creatures. I'm just playing classic Magic the Gathering. Lightning bolt. Die. Out of here, Davriel. 3 board wipes is too many. Old Stickfingers ran into one of these before. Now is able to, well, power through their Arden Ulamog combo with, you know, having tons and tons of sacrificable permanents. Now, this hand is not terrible, but it is missing untapped mana on turn 1, which I would really like. So I'm going to mulligan. And, ooh, okay. I've got Rahilda, Shock Brigade, Blood Moon, Bombardiers. Nothing on turn 1. Still a nice hand. Will this be combo Stickfingers? Yes. I have not seen an old Stickfingers that was not the Arden Ulamog combo for about 2 months. And before that, it's because Arden didn't exist. So instead, all of them were Colossus Stickfingers. Okay, Collective Brutality. You can choose an instant or sorcery from my... Oh, wait, I don't have any of those. Rahilda, get out here. Rahilda is going to have a chance of randomly hitting Arden or Ulamog when she deals combat damage, which would be rad, because then I would, you know, get the thing. I'll use Lazlo to also get myself some treasure, but if I can randomly exile the combo piece out of their deck, sweet. Okay, that's Into the North, and that's Dark Ritual. I mean, I could Dark Ritual into the North. I'm not going to. So they have enough mana to Old Stickfingers for X equals 2. There's Arden, there's Ulamog. All basics over there, so I can't cut them off of their reanimation spells the way I'd like. I'll swing in with both. They're trading with the commander. I'm trying to see if I can steal something that steals from their graveyard, because that would also work. This is only from my graveyard. There we go. Actually, I think it is smarter to hit the Ulamog than the Arden. Because if I get the Arden, he's pretty easy to then kill and then reanimate themselves. If this was pre-combat, yeah, those are the only creatures in their deck. Yeah, all right, we take it. And we win, because I stole the reanimate. Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, has an extremely high mana cost, so they're going to be ramping and ramping and ramping and ramping and ramping. But if Emrakul comes out, I'll say my opponent will probably have won the game. Because if you're not familiar with Emrakul, well, she's terrifying. She is going to be taking additional turns. She has Annihilator 6, she has protection from pretty much everything, and she'll always end up back in your deck. Or, well, more realistically, in the command zone. I have a feeling that this is going to be a game where they ramp, and if they get there, if they manage to hit like some Ugin in the middle too, that is going to be huge for them. Yeah, this is a very good card. I think this card might actually be banned in Commander. That seems right. I'm going to accuse myself of being Spider-Man. Any one of us could be Spider-Man. You could be Spider-Man. You could be Spider-Man. Doesn't matter if he's a menace, we'll profit off it. And I get some treasure. They didn't have turn 1 ramp, though, so I'm happy about that. Or turn 2 ramp. None of those. I guess there's not much turn 1 ramp. There's like turn 1 setup ramp. This is more damage. This is more treasure. This is more treasure. I'm gonna go Facebreaker Fireweaver. And swing it again. The treasures are gonna deal some damage. Speed up, by the way. Speed's almost maximum, so I can give haste soon. We get additional treasures. And a card in their hand is going to get randomly punished and taxed. I will throw down this Byway Barter. The board wipes, by the way, in colorless are a little slow. You have not played anything yet. Do you have anything other than Waste? They do with Eldrazi Temple and Thrantorm Portal Gateway, which is going to cheat cards into play. That's great for you, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Torbran. Let's turn those pings into more. Yeah, let's get rid of those. I guess I should have Chrome Moxed first. That would have been fun. So now each of the Fireweaver's pings are going to be 3 damage. Ah, excellent. Good game. They did almost nothing. Rofellos, Llanowar, Emissary. I do go first, but I'm going to have to mulligan because I do not have removal. Though I do really love this card. This is super good aggro in this hand. I need a way to kill Rofellos. Rofellos is a card that demands removal because, well, he taps for way too much mana. Still nothing here, though I do have good ramp. I'm gonna go for the double mulligan. And I can't go any deeper. I sadly just didn't get what I needed. I can throw back a land. I can throw back Karizev. Right now, this is like a kind of cute start to the game, though, where I can go like 1, 2, 3. You know, I'm gonna do that and just like hope that one of the cards I draw will be a land. If it's not, that's fine. I could use Goldhound to cast this, but I'm gonna hope for like 1, 2, 3 treasure, treasure, treasure. All right, we got a suspect goat. We're swinging in. Yeah, Winter Moon is not helpful against Mono Green. Mono Green, who cares specifically about forests. Right, there's a land. Here comes Lazlo. And he is going to accuse himself of Spider-Man behavior. We make 3 treasures. Pew-pew-pew. Thank you, Fiona, for gifting us up to Ian. And welcome to the gauntlet of 1/1s with Menace. You want to block? I'll kill Rofellos. You know I will. All I want to do is kill him. I tried so hard to find removal so I could kill him, but instead all I get is treasures. Seek the Wilds will get them a land into play and a 4-cost card in hand, specifically a permanent. They did get Pawk. I don't know if that's what they found off Settle the Wilds. There's a good chance of it, though. And now they're going to be doubling their lands as they play them. How horrific. Karizev, come on down. Don't need to suspect that, and we'll swing in. I'm making treasures. Also, there's a monkey here. Now, they can choose to kill any one of these creatures. Don't want to suspect that Ragavan? No. But all of these, except for this, have menace, so they can only really choose to block one. Ah, they went for the Ragavan. Nice. Here comes a Ferocidon. I love the Frank's scapegoat is like, please, take my sus. They have just straight up 16 mana. All right, what's it gonna be? Okay, actually, they have a lot more than 16 mana. Because now all of those basic lands tap for triple. Bahamut! Who's getting blasted? Karizev crew of 2? Nope, the Ferocidon. Do you see how I have 3 lands? Yeah. They ate Bahamut. And now they're back up to 20 life. Aww. So sad. But at least I have treasures. Hi, Birds of Paradise. More blockers. An Insidious Fungus. And Craterhoof Behemoth. It is lethal. Terrible! Can we please get this card out of the format? I would appreciate it. Riku of Many Paths. The more choices they make, the more options they get off their commander. And there will be playing lots of modal spells. Spells that let you choose when you cast them. Let's see if I can just start either building up damage, building up menace. Gotta build a menace first. Riku of Many Paths will be playing a lot of the spree spells from Thunder Junction. We even have like Cryptic Command and stuff in Arena now. Did Spider-Man have any modal spells? It did. There's actually a really nice 1-drop, or a 1-cost, like either exile spells from the top that you can play, or give +1/+0 to your creatures, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. Name human. Ignore that this is not a human. I'm just getting ready. Because I feel like there will be counter spells in their deck. I'm trying to think of... There's also another modal counter spell in Spider-Man. That's like either tap creatures or counter spell. Or. I think you're allowed to do both. This is a deck I should probably update at some point. Because it is really cool. They brainstorm. So far, they're just doing some Simic stuff here, lining up. They could have played Riku, but they chose not to. I do like that they're using the Fleam cosmetics. Very nice. An Arcane Signet. They still have 2 mana up. They have ramped considerably. I know how to ramp too, though. See? Lazlo. Oh, that devil. He's a real devil! Can't be having that. No. He's causing a riot in the street. Oh. And also Jonah Jameson is getting lit on fire with some lightning. The ability still goes through, though, so I guess I'm just swinging with more menace. I'll take the damage where I can get it. Is it birds you make? Yeah, 1/1 birds, counters, or exiling card draw. Ewit, they can bring back Lightning Bolt and kill another one of my creatures. That's good value. Would you like to? Would you like to kill my creature? You can wait until I play more of them. Because I promise you, I will play more of them. Like Inti. Inti's quite good. And Rabbit Battery. And now they can bolt Inti. If they want to. They don't have to. Great, and I'll just attack in with the Menace. So far, the modal spells haven't shown up. Here's Riku, though. Take advantage of modal spells. Do they cast one? Well, they might. I'll play Magda over Lazlo. Do I have enough mana for all of it? Just doing it post-combat. Lazlo! Everyone's a menace, including cute bunnies! I swing in and make 3 treasures. My sussy bunny, my big spender. If they block wide away any of my creatures, I'll get another treasure. Atarka's Command! You get to choose 2. They're dealing 3 damage to me and giving +1/+1 and reach. In response to that, I will kill Riku before he gets the buff. And because my creatures all have Menace, it can block. But only with the bird. Ha! Alrighty. I'll assign 1 damage to Eternal Witness. Play Magda. Kind of like getting the Rabbit Battery on one of these. Because like Prismari Command and similar deal 2 damage. So I could like potentially protect Magda by putting the battery on her. But I like this being a menacing creature. This is also a way for me to spend those treasures. Big spender, Magda. Gonna rustle up a fortune. Brain Surge. They are rearranging the top of their deck. Aw, Reverend Lancer. Don't mind us. We're gonna make some treasures. Let's try to save up for the future. You know, it's a lot of uncertainty out there. You killing him? Is it Prismari Command? It's Quandrix Command! They're going to bounce Lazlo and buff the bird. Alright then. I'm still attacking it. And kill the Eternal Witness. Before that finalizes, do I want to get something off of this? They're all just kind of like junky artifacts. So I have a chance of hitting something okay. Some of them also are just like cantripping. I'm gonna eat up the 2 treasures. Alright, egg, just cantrips. I'll take it. Yeah. Magda! You're a real menace. And to protect this, I'm gonna throw it on Lazlo. Even though that is 1 less menacing attacker. Do I have any, like, treasure-based strategy decks? I have some. Sometimes it's just, like, treasures are part of the game plan. Alright, I can't deal damage to them next turn. I can still swing in, though, for triggers. Let me start with egg. Not quite what I crave. Jonah Jameson is now the ring bearer. Don't worry about it. It's fine. He can be trusted to hold the one ring. Oh no, they're gonna suplex Magda! At least I have this egg to eat. Oof, a land. I mean, I'm still attacking it with all these. I know what I'm here for. If you want to, they can double block Rabbit Battery. We're a mono red deck. We get in damage where we can find it. Anywhere. Reconfiguring that back on there. They drew from the one ring. If they find one of the lands buffed with a Vendo, that'd also be good. Yeah, it's weird. I have more lands than them right now. Because I have drawn pretty much too many lands. Uh-oh. That's very good at blocking creatures with Menace. Because there's about to be an army of bugs. Bugs on bugs on bugs on bugs. Hey, Selvala. Selvala. Okay. I would like to draw a card. Thank you, Selvala. They will go to 1 from the one ring. Is Spider-Man pure-hearted enough to be a ring bearer? Yeah, he's pure-hearted enough to hold Thor's hammer. I think that he's a good boy. That Peter Parker. Now, I think if Jonah Jameson had the one ring, he would probably be, like, bragging about it and, like, all of the powers it gives it and how powerful he is. Riku of Many Paths. And an unstoppable plan! I think you're stopped by the fact that the dragon has flying right now. Nice monkey. The very stoppable plan. Riku didn't get to do much yet. They are losing 2 life. Maybe they can cast a modal spell and make a bird. They have plenty of mana. Well, had plenty of mana. Now they don't. I'll swing in with Goldspan Dragon. Make a treasure. Win the game. We got through. I feel like they didn't pick enough modes. Birgi, a mono red storm commander. Makes more mana when you cast a spell. I have... let's see. Some pretty nice 1-drops here. I like that. Magus of the Moon, not going to be as useful against a mono red deck. But it's still here. I'll keep it because I like these 1-drops. Rotisserie Elemental. Yeah, you can go infinite with Birgi, and then finish off with a bunch of different spells that either use the infinitely generated mana, or just are storm spells themselves. At a reunion, they discard, they draw. With this current hand, I named Goblin. We start swinging in. Nice. This doesn't have Menace, but I can give it Menace. Conduit, Pylon. And they put a command beacon into the graveyard. You just play Birgi here? She can't block very well here, but like, that's fine. I don't even have a third land yet. Ooh, it's another Storm Enabler. It's Bio, and I did not get another land. If I want to cast Lazlo, I'll need to use this Gold Hound first, and gotta say, it's worth it. Getting a treasure generator online, so I can turn mana into more mana. No, not yet Rotisserie Elemental. Either the Stone Seeker or Plunderer here. You like Birgi? Birgi's cool. Bio's also cool. This is, Electro, I think, from Spider-Man. Yeah, it's Electro. This lets them bank red mana. And when it dies, it becomes an X-cost burn spell. They've got 1 mana sitting there. They could give these haste. That doesn't actually help much, but they could. Goblin Engineer in the grave. March of Reckless Joy. Wow, they are exiling a ton of cards from their hands to just try to go off, I think, right now. They have a Dragon Mantle. Cantrips. This also is an exiling cantrip. Which 2 cards got exiled? Ooh, Relay, so that's some more Storm. Yeah, this could be a long turn. It could also be the last turn, depending on what they hit. Oh, interesting. Relay doesn't let you use the spells on this turn. It's only during the next turn. Bio, getting the Mantle. It's 1 mana for 1 mana, since it wasn't an instant or sorcery. Won't trigger there. Another 1 mana for 1 mana with the Blazing Root Walla. And now they got Hot Grapes, but they are not at the point where Grape Shot's lethal. Now they probably have ways to recast this from the graveyard later, but they can use it to still take out pretty much my entire board. Is it in fact my entire board? Woof, a 2 mana board wipe. And I'm still on 2 lands. What do we got? Is a Relay. And I'm trying to see what gets exiled. Okay. Oh, Underworld Breach. I think they'll be able to win off Breach next turn. Bio Bastion. What do we got? Mutavault. Blizzard. Blizzard. And I am not going to watch them play out the next turn. I already know I'm dead. GG. Teval, the Balanced Scale, attacks in, mills, brings lands out of the graveyard, and makes zombies. I have some actually really fast ramp in this hand, which is kind of cool and unusual. I have like a mountain into Kellen, into this Mox Amber, which gives me access to 1 more mana. Not that I can use it for much. You know what? I can use it for something. If they play, let's just say Birds of Paradise, I can spike it. Bam! Right there. I gotta kill Kellen. He gives me impulse draws. That's really cool. You know what else he does? He's a menace. Kellen. Oh, always swinging from the rooftops. And, I don't know, hanging out with... Who's Spider-Man hang out with? Deadpool. That's what happens in fan fiction. So they started with the Triome tapped. I feel like they're going to have a good amount of just like general self-mill and recursion, not just Teval. Many of these decks are also landfall decks too, because like Teval is this big flyer that gets you lands entering. I have 1 entire treasure here. Utopia Sprawl, they're ramping! I like Teval as a card. Part of what I like about it is that it doesn't trigger when it enters. Look at you, Vv'viza. Sylvan Tutor, what are you tutoring for? What is the card you search for against me? I'm a little worried. There's also some cards that work really, really well with Teval because they like let you exile cards out of your graveyard 1 at a time. Well, they're thinking about it too. If they had more mana, something like a Massacre Worm, Perforator Crocodile would be really nice. I think at the 4 mana cost... Oh, they're just going to try to go super wide. Great news. We have the Spike Field Hazard. Great news for me. I'll swing in and get my treasure. Yeah, I actually will probably use Fury on it and just use this as a land. Nice. I commit to the board. Watch them just have like a Toxic Deluge here. I can recover from like a board wipe sometimes. Probably not a board wipe here. We'll see. No, it's time for the bug. Well, that doesn't bug me that much. Bug. They have 2 entire blockers. And now they have none blockers because we have Fury. Would I like to discard my hand? Sure. I don't need Dreadmaw's Ire. I don't have an artifact for me to destroy. And it's not lethal either. We swing in. We could even put some cards in exile using Kellen. Not that I'd be able to cast them. Make our treasures and win the game. Liberator, Urza's Battle Thopter. Gonna be thopping, chopping, and slopping over here. Liberator is going to just be flashing out colorless spells. This hand does not have things before turn 3, really. So we're gonna throw it back. This is much faster. And keep this. I'll start with a Rabbit Battery and hit them for 1. They're going to be playing ever-increasing sizes of colorless spells because if you can curve it out with Liberator, this actually gets counters when you cast the spells, which is really neat. At least I think it's pretty neat. Expedition Map lets them find specific lands, and there's a bunch of lands that can tap for multiple mana for Liberator. Until they're, you know, basic mountains. Which... yeah. You seem to have some tech lands out here. That's cool, that's cool. Human. I'll accuse this Fireweaver of being Spider-Man. You are a menace, committing arson left and right. We want to save that because it has a really sweet kicker ability here. Excluded Starforge. Magus of the Moon. And give everybody a bit more damage. Only going to be making one treasure off this. Only have one creature with menace. But everybody gets +1/+0 in haste until end of turn. They did not flash that out, probably because, like, it would trade with Rabbit Battery or something. It wouldn't be very impressive. They're down to 7 life. Ooh, Carry Zev! Who notably comes with a free Ragavan! GG! Vv'viza Orbital Overseer. This is the jelly that brings a land into play and is going to make me jealous with rage when I see how much value it makes. When I attack in, specifically with things with Menace, I get a treasure. And they get a 2/1? Liar? That's crazy. I'm gonna mulligan. Where's my 1-drop critters? Double mulligan. That's better. I like seeing Ragavan here. Shove aside will have some targets, but not enough. Torbran and Embercleave are going to make me very happy if I can get to them. And with the power of a turn 1 monkey, I believe. See if they play like a turn 1 Kami of Bamboo Groves. That'd be a rough time for me. Literally the exact card I didn't want you to play. I guess I should have kept the shove. That's okay. I don't need to attack in this turn. I'll play the Horned Stone Seeker. That is going to make a Power Stone token, which I can use for Embercleave. Bloom Tender. That will tap for 3 mana once this is out. I don't have enough attackers currently to believe in the cleave, but next turn I will. So I'll swing in with the Stone Seeker. I don't think they'll double block, but I'd be super down with it if they did. Give me that Eldraine red. Give me that mono red goodie. Here's Vv'viza, going to generate one of the planets. It'll come in tapped, but then they can still tap Vv'viza. And I have a feeling they'll still swing in with the Kami of Bamboo Groves to exchange it for the 2/1 flyer. Because, I mean, the 2/1 flyer is better than a 1/1 on the ground. Basic as it is. Mossborn Hydra. Well, that's going to be scary with the landfall. Remember, this can be sacrificed for lands. I just gotta simply believe. I'm gonna spend 2 mana to get 2 mana. Because this will give me 2 hits with Ragavan. Which means 2 treasures and 2 cards stolen. What do we got? Okay, Seagate Restoration. I can't play it as a land. I think I should just use up these to either hit you, hit you, hit you. I think the Mossborn Hydra is going to be the hardest thing for me to deal with, so I'm taking it out. The next creature I play will get 3 additional power, which ain't nothing. That's pretty good that they do have 8 mana. And that's without doing anything else. Just straight up 8 mana and a Vigilant Flyer. Oh, they want to go wide. And they're going to be able to replay those fetch lands from the graveyard, playing multiple lands per turn, and immediately hitting those powers of 2 with the powers of Scoot, which doubles each time a land enters. Windswept Heath. They are now up to 16 bugs. And I started the turn with one. I should say 17 bugs. This is also an insect. Dang, and I still have not gotten a land. Man, that's rough. I got nothing. They're just gonna kill me. Like, they just attack and I die. Man Leggings in chat says, my decks are also sweet. Makes you want to play Brawl, but sometimes you see my opponents and think, never mind. I'm doing my best. But sometimes your best is not enough. Bug, bug, bug. Bug, bug. Bug. Bug, bug, bug. Look at him go! No, my Power Stone! Here, I can float mana from it. I can't use the mana for anything. Go to end of combat and I can play Wagon Wrecker. It gets a buff! It's not enough. Ice Till is such a silly card. Yeah, they could have blocked with fewer of the insect tokens, so they would have, I think, lethal on the backswing. Because, like, I didn't have a way to end them. I had something, though. Alright, so they're swinging for a bunch. I ain't blocking. I have 2 lands. Aha. Lands, am I right? A land! Swinging for it doesn't matter. They have 21 bugs. I concede. GG, Vv'viza. Wish it didn't exist. Soul of Windgrace going to be bringing back lands from the graveyard. I think I played against this person yesterday when I was recording, and they didn't find their fetch lands, so they never ended up with a land in the graveyard. Maybe this is them hard mulliganing to be like, I will have a fetch against this person before. Yeah, you will. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Saying howdy? Hi! I can set up for some damage. Playing something that naturally has menace. Rather than having to give something menace with our commander. Is it a strip mine deck? It likely has strip mine in it, but from what I remember seeing their deck before, it wasn't purely a strip mine deck. It was not tutoring out the spell or anything. Thoughtseize! What do you hit? Embercleave? How much fear do you have? Were you playing Standard 4 years ago? They were playing Standard 4 years ago. I love when you find that kind of stuff out. Well, I just drew something amazing, though. It's Gut. I am going to do that in the opposite order. So I can make a token, sacrifice it, get a skeleton. Hi, Gut. You're great. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Yeah, there's a good goblin. Not as good as this goblin, but still a good goblin. And I'm going to cast my commander and say, Gut, you're a menace! Honestly, she is a menace. So first, we're gonna go ahead and move the mobilize so I can do the same thing that I did before, which is sacrifice that warrior token to turn it into a 4/1. By the way, Gut is a commander I would also like to build at some point. She's nutty strong. What else do we got here? What if that would have been lethal? Oops, not haste. I'm at the +1/+1 counter. That's fine. Yeah, I don't need Embercleave. I got guts. Nickelodeon games and sports. Soul of Windgrace does have a land to recur. Goblin Shaman swings in. We take 2. And then we turn around and we go bop, 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 bop. We're all menaces. Oh, wait, I can just win without attacking. I should do that. It's faster. Good game. Torbrand plus Bolt equals death. GG. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars, and thank you, Jonah Jameson, for allowing me to yell menace repeatedly during this video. I also got to demand pictures of Spider-Man, and look, I even had pictures of Spider-Man. There's only 1 in the deck, but, 1 is more than 0. Technically, Mutavault's also a picture of Spider-Man. It's a man and a spider. It's all of those things. This is a pretty fun deck to play. It's mono red aggro, but I will say it is not the strongest mono red aggro out there, in part because it's playing to such a specific theme. A deck like this is not going to be as strong as, say, Gut in the command zone or Magda in the command zone, but it's still pretty darn fun, and it gives a pretty unique play pattern of making tons and tons of treasures to ping your opponent and have a good time. I really enjoyed getting to play this deck, and if you would like to play it yourself, you can find it in the description of the video. Yes, you too can play Menace, the deck. I think this is also a deck that will get, like, fun upgrades as time goes on, and they just print more generic creatures that happen to have Menace, or, like, random legends that happen to have Menace. Because there's a lot of cards in this deck that, like, that's what got them into the deck, and that's what makes them good with this commander. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.